The United States Child Support Program served 13.2 million children in 2021, with the goal of collecting money from parents, including those who don't live with their children. Since the program's inception in 1975, it has been closely intertwined with America's views on public assistance and race, its implementation shaped to respond to the backlash against inclusive economic support for poor families. In order to create an approach to child support that truly increases children's economic stability, the federal and state governments must move beyond this backlash. This Father's Day, policymakers must consider the history of the child support program and how best to ensure that it helps, not harms, families. The child support program started off as a federal-state partnership, with a goal of reducing expenditures of the Aid to Families with Dependent Children (AFDC) program. From 1935 to 1996, AFDC was a primary vehicle for economic support to families with children. The child support program collected money from non-custodial parents, most of whom are fathers, whose children relied on AFDC benefits. But this support did not go to children. Instead, it was used to reimburse the government for AFDC benefits. For example, if a court ordered a parent to pay $100 every month in child support to a household that received $100 in AFDC money, the state kept the entirety of that $100 child support payment and shared it with the federal government. This welfare cost recovery effort remains in effect today, though many states do now pass through a portion of these payments to custodial parents and children. In 2021, the government kept an estimated $1.38 billion in child support. This approach to cost recovery essentially requires poor, non-custodial parents to repay the federal government for the minimal cash aid their children receive, providing neither parents nor children with economic security. States should end these policies and refocus enforcement efforts toward providing services such as job training and placement, thereby lessening the punitive targeting of low-income men, and Black men in particular, and increasing the likelihood that child support programs lead to actual economic benefits for poor children and families. Receiving child support payments is often essential for custodial parent families, considering roughly 25% of them live in poverty, but targeting and punishing people who cannot pay does not help anyone. For the most part, the law does not consider whether parents avoid paying child support because they do not want to or because they cannot afford to. The debt accrues either way. Nearly all who are in arrears over child support have very low incomes. In one study in California, 80% of those in arrears had annual incomes below $20,000, and 60% had annual incomes below $10,000. As debt grows and enforcement measures are used, employment, housing, and familial bonds are all put at risk. Ruining the credit scores and suspending the licenses of low-income non-custodial parents can make it harder for them to achieve the financial stability they need to provide for their children, while incarceration makes it impossible.